Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I want to give this report halfway through the day that, it does look like the 200 isn't going to hold that 5,000 level by the end of the week. For us, that is obviously very negative, and we do believe, obviously, that the market could potentially go down quite a bit further. And if you look at the Dow again, it's just looking at that support around 16,000, which it needs to jump up off. If it doesn't, then you've got that. I think that's 15,696 as support, and then unfortunately, if it breaks that level on a weekly chart, it's it's potentially sort of a free fall down to 13,000. I hope that doesn't happen, but I think as we're in the money business, so I think you've got to be a little bit careful at the moment, and certainly if we're running a fund at the moment, we'd be looking to have a good proportion of the money obviously in cash. But we wouldn't also be selling everything. There are good stories, and what we do is Equity Story. We just play, I suppose, especially the main companies and the ones that we got trending. We just play them by the charts. We more or less pretty well, I think, picked this market, how it's moved over the last since we've been opened, and as a result, since I think the last ASX 200 stock we sold was in I'll just have a look here. The last one we did was in last one we sold was in beginning of this year, and we haven't bought any ASX 200 stocks since then. The only ones we bought are outside the ASX 200, and a little bit recent that the charts have obviously told us to stay away from the 200, and obviously the only stocks that have been going up are in the 300-400. And of those stocks, the ones we put out were not sort of. I wish we hadn't put them out when we did, and in hindsight, it'd been good to put them out a little bit later. But the trends are fine actually, and if I actually go through those ones we've got on at the moment, Elders actually up today. Again, it's fine. I think although these are difficult times, it's holding up very, very nicely. As was IRI. Again, we bought it on that long-term trend, and it's sort of holding that. This 205 level really, really well. Then you've got PME. Again, for us, we bought these stocks on a shorter term trend, but our support level here is this longer term trend. As long as it holds that, that's absolutely fine. We can totally live with it. And the infamous Hub, which has been really hammered of late. Again, it's had such a dramatic rise so quickly. I think they had a takeover offer around this sort of 275. Yes, it might come back, potentially it could come back to 3, but it's not going to break that long-term trend, so we're happy to hold it. If it goes in a buy signal, we might put out an announcement to buy a little bit more. And of course, the Isenti Group again, why would you sell those companies? It looks absolutely stunning on the charts. Again, could come back a little bit more, but then she should turn up. So what we've got, we're happy, is holding the trend line, and we're happy to hold them, and we expect that we'll make good money on them sometime in the year. But I think more importantly is to have a look at really how we're going to trade, and I do think it is wise at the moment to have a good percentage of your money. If you're, like I said, if we're running a fund, we'd have a percentage of it in cash. We're only licensed to give general advice on shares, so how you actually handle your own portfolios, you need to discuss with your financial planner. But I think what's exciting in Equity Story is that there are great companies, especially in the ASX 200, with potentially some really great trends, and companies like Aristocrat. Again, it's run hard, but these are sort of companies. Definitely, if it comes back to that sort of $9 level and starts turning up, it's be a great company to look to buy. Again, you've got little stocks like AOG. These are good, solid ASX 200 company trends. ALU looking good, just holding that trend line. Soul Pat's been doing really well recently. Again, I think if it comes back to these sort of levels, could be an interesting buy. TGR. Again, some great companies there. There is a lot of rubbish on the ASX 200, but here you've got some absolutely stunning companies where you know, I think if the market does pull back and comes back another 10 or 15%, a lot of these companies here, I think we can actually do really well buying off them on long-term trends. You know, again, here's another one of our favorites, Macquarie Atlas. Again, perfect. Just had that run up a little bit too. You know, we made good money on this stock. It's come back. If we can buy this nicely off this level on a good buy signal, again, it's a fantastic stock. There's plenty out there at the moment. There's plenty out there that we're looking at, and plenty we're obviously interested in jumping on. At the moment, it's not quite the right time. Just having a look quickly at Northern Star. Obviously, in shaky times, the gold price does do quite well. I think we had a chat about this one this morning. Again, another great report. And this is a company, actually, if you look on the charts, it looks absolutely stunning. And they're absolutely making an absolute fortune and making a lot of money at the moment with their gold price and where it is, and basically where the Aussie is trading so cheaply. So they're doing really well. I think if gold will be a great story over the next 2-3 years. I think you know, you can see around the world, gold always does well when governments have issues and governments start I don't know, sort of political systems start collapsing. I think if you look around Europe at the moment with all the issues, you look at the issues in the States and issues in China, I think gold will have its day the next 2 years. And I think a company like Northern Star, you know, if you get gold going up to say 1,500, 1,800 an ounce where it was before, with the exchange rate, the money that some of these gold companies are going to be making is going to be absolutely astronomical. So as a 3-year growth story, I think NST is for me, it's certainly one you should have in your portfolio. Just as we're trading today, I mean, obviously we put out, and I suppose it's a topical stock at the moment, we put out the LPE, and if we go to it, again, it's slightly up today. I mean, I think this company is absolutely excellent, and it's a great story. It's got a solid revenue stream, and really this is one of the, you know, if this can dip a little bit lower, even sort of go back, see where it might go to maybe a longer term moving average at 0.025, 0.026, you should definitely be buying as much of this as you feel comfortable. It's just a fantastic story. I don't think it will go much under 0.03, even if all the markets pull back. And again, it's interesting to see people, you know, these 10 baggers. Look at RAP. RAP is still just trending up. You look on the charts, it doesn't really show any signs of weakness. I think people with RAP, whenever it goes back around this sort of 12, maybe 11 cents, I think people are jumping into it because I think, yeah, it's such a good story. And I think if the market does move back really strongly, what you're going to see is possibly the ASX 200 get hit first. You've got a lot of the funds will obviously start reducing. The technical trading will kick in. But I think these sort of small, these sort of 10 bagger stocks, that, you know, they're either going to happen or they're not. And I think RAP is one of those stories where whatever happens around the world, I think as long as their technology passes, I think RAP is just going to get better and better. Just trying to see if there's anything sort of topical I wanted to have a look at, just while we're going through this. I think one point that's important with Equity Story is that I think one of the reasons we are successful is that we try and buy stocks that are just going up or have got momentum, it's going up. And people keep asking about BHP and would you buy it at this, and I think there's a lot of funds that just come out recently, and they said I think one of the major houses put a buy on this today. Really, if you look at BHP, it broke the trend at what, about 30. What's that when it really broke the trend? You can say you could have argued maybe, but there you certainly have got out on a long-term trend, about $34, and now it's at $14. And since then, it's tried to stick its neck up and break that trend line. It can't do it. I think it's very important not to try and pick bottoms. And again, trying to pick BHP here, I think it's highly risky. I certainly wouldn't like to try, and I suggest you don't do it because I think time and time again, all we're doing is seeing people trying to pick these bottoms. So Buy BHP when the story's back on. You know, when the up here $23. Take this money. Take what we try and do is take the safer money. See, you don't want to buy this money. Try and take these this year, these areas in time when there's some momentum in the stock going up. But I think that at the moment, you know, obviously stay out of these sort of companies. And it was interesting actually. We did the weekly buy and sell signals. And just the way the market's so volatile at the moment, to be honest, I was a little bit nervous about putting them out. But they, you know, they certainly, if you look at the banks that had the sell signal, they've really hit those sell signals. And it's hard when you see something like the banks, you think, oh, look at those dividends, who'd be selling those? But they often the charts don't lie, and bang, down she goes. And you see their NABs looking really, really weak. And again, with ANZ, looking very, very weak. And I think there's a lot of people of the opinion now that they could be raising money and those dividends could get hit. So potentially these banks, yeah, I don't think they're the best place to have your money at the moment. Just having a look at some trends. There's some the company that we actually really like the look of, and fundamentally it's a good story, and it's actually trending. It's a company called Speedcast. At the moment, we're not putting out anything just because just obviously the way we feel the market is. We'd rather just try and pick it at a more safer time at the moment. But again, this stock's actually teeing up quite nicely for a rise. So they do satellite communication systems, and it certainly looks very, very good. Again, there's another stock that we really like the look of. And again, normal times, I think I'd be putting this out as a trend. At the moment, I'm not. But the company's ADACell, and what they do, they air traffic control training and systems. It's absolutely quite an interesting company, but also a very, very neat, strong trend. So again, we're not sort of putting these ones out, but again, we're watching a lot of stocks ready to move when we feel the market it's a more opportune time to buy. Anyway, we're here at obviously at the office, and if you've got any questions or you've got stocks that we're not talking about in the portfolio, and you want our opinion on them, or you want to have a look at the trend line, when would be a good time to get in, please just give us a call, and because we're here to help you as much as we can on all these stocks. Anyway, thank you very much, and we'll be talking tomorrow. Goodbye.